Hey, what's up guys, Pallab here with another full review video, and today we have the brand new Samsung Galaxy On5 Pro. This along with the On7 Pro are released in India just today, and we're gonna do a full review of this device. First, what's in the box? You see it's a very colorful box and make in India box. So there are some of the quick specs over there. You have the same 5-inch HD TFT screen from the last year's Galaxy On5. Same camera combination, same battery. The main difference between this one and the last year's On5 are last year's one had 1.5 GB RAM and 8 GB of ROM. Apart from that, they're almost identical. That's the model number, and well, I should show you the price as well. That's the MRP 9190. So the MRP is slightly more than last year's On5. Once you open the box, on top you'll have the phone. We have the gold version. We'll come back to the phone in just a bit. You have the manuals. You have the 1 ampere wall charger here, micro USB 2.0 cable, pretty entry level earphones, and the 2600 mAh battery. So that's the On5 Pro. Let's go ahead and take off all this plastic. It's an all plastic body, but it looks quite good, and the gold color is quite subtle. Looks that fox leather back cover looks very premium. This nice matte finish aluminum accent on the right again gives the device that premium feeling. And that's the 5-inch screen, HD resolution. It's a TFT screen, so do not expect great viewing angle. Your 5MP front camera over there, shortcut keys and all your usual buttons and ports on the side, all are plastic over here. This feels great and won't attract much fingerprint. However, the same cannot be said for the display. It attracts, well, not as much fingerprint as I suspected, but it does attract some amount of fingerprint. And then that's the 8MP camera, speaker grill. Well, this phone looks identical, 99% identical to the On5, but apart from that LED here, this just looks a tad bit different. Otherwise it's the same device look wise. And then here is the battery slot where the 2600 mAh battery goes, and your 2 SIM card slot plus a micro SD card slot. It takes both SIM 4G, and 149 grams only. I like it, but it's an all plastic body. I would not give the 5-inch display much mark, mainly because of a low res HD resolution and mainly because of a TFT screen, which results in quite poor and average viewing angle really. And the color differences are okay, but the contrast ratio is not very good, so the display is only about average. This guy is powered by Marshmallow, and you have a very light TouchWiz on top. It's very smooth with a constant frame rate. We almost never felt any lag. And you can go to software info here, and then 6.0.1. We're gonna check some more things in the settings. For example, out of 16 GB available is about 8.65 GB. That's quite less actually. And then here you can go to Smart Manager, and you can go and you can see 46% RAM is used, and we do not have any background apps, so that's a good deal. Generally, we've seen in this price range Samsung devices generally used to use just more than 50% of RAM, so the RAM management has certainly been improved. Yeah, so overall typical TouchWiz UI. You long press to add your widgets and themes and stuff, and same, no ambient sensor. You see, you have an outdoor sensor, however not outdoor sensor, outdoor settings, which just bumps up the display to maximum. And then you have your usual Google apps, these Chromes and Maps and all, and then some of the in-house apps trimmed down. For example, music, there's no in-house music app, you'll use Google Music, so it's streaming down. No bloatware here. Those are those benchmark apps, but apart from that, almost no bloatware. Good thing. And Opera Max is for ultra data saving. The good deal. The UI is lovely. It almost never lagged, and it's very light. I love using the UI day to day. The camera is a strong point of this device. You see good buffer there, you can start your video right from there. Yeah, it supports full HD just like last year's On5, and then 8 MP, so some of those settings over there. That's the front camera, which lags that bit. See that 5 MP front camera, but it's bright enough however, and very wide. So one of the feature here is a group selfie. It's at a very wide field of view. That's amazing for vlogging or for a group selfie, as it says. So you have various modes over here: pro, panorama, continuous shots and all. And then on the selfie, there you see wide selfie, so you can just scroll this, or just like a swipe panorama, and then take a group selfie. But anyway, this guy is quite wide. So we check the image and video quality. They are very decent. They have good enough detail under enough light. The saturation and hue are proper. A touch oversaturated green and red part, but that's we've commonly seen, and specifically at this price point of Samsung. So they are processed JPEG, no RAW supported, so you have to take it the way they come. Under low light, there are noise, but the camera could check the noise to a good enough level. The videos are sharp at the center, slightly fuzzy on the edge. Overall, I would say for the price point, it's a very decent camera.
I'm wilding out. I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. Pushing off my sneakers to the ground. I do not jump. I move the earth down. Bear witness to the G.
I like the speaker output. It does not go full blast, but then it maintains the bass and treble level. And even though the speaker is seated on the back side, it has this nice little bump, and that does not prevent the sound from coming out whenever you place this device on a flat surface.
Guys, did you see that? I just was like, what?
The surround sound and 3D sound is good. The vocals are also quite enhanced, not digitally enhanced, which is a good thing. We did some benchmark testing on this device, and in most of those it scores below average. Powered by an Exynos 3475 chipset with a 2 GB of RAM, up from 1.5 GB from last year, and well, still it could not score even the average. It's below average, much below average. We also threw in some game in here. It could play most of those game, but not without lags in a few occasions, not many though. Now coming to the end part of the full review, the verdict, pros and cons. The main pro of this device is, I think one could be the camera. Number two is the very light UI, almost no bloatware, so no UI lag whatsoever. And number three, marshmallow right out of the box, and a lot of devices at this price point does not come with that. Some of the cons would be this plastic bill, and more than plastic bill, I like this plastic bill, but then it's almost identical to last year's Samsung, and in general it's a very cliched design now, Samsung's. Although this fox leather cover is always a nice touch that started with the Note 3, but yeah, this design's kind of now become too old and common. And apart from that, the audio quality is decent. I would not consider it as a con. At a 9,000, the MOP could be slightly less than the MRP. At 9,000, there's a very strong competition. There are a lot of devices with full metal body, 3 GB of RAM or 2 GB of RAMs at least, and then very premium looking and comes with almost all the latest spec sheets and stuff. This guy does not fall behind, and I would say the camera performance is one of the good ones, one of the better ones, but overall it faces very tough competition. But I think I like this device apart from that plastic and very common design. If you like this video, please hit the like button, ask anything related to this, and please subscribe to our channel and share this video to share the love. Love you. Thank you.